See if everybody can start popping in here. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hi, guys.
I
Welcome.
see people.
I see people too. This is awesome. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna switch this so I can see the whole group of peoples. Welcome, guys. I'm super excited for today. We are going to be doing obviously another live masterclass, and I have joined forces with my friend Lisa. Lisa and I have been friends for, gosh, how long now? Since 2019? It's been a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's been a long time. We became cohort companions or something. What did she call that? Amy Porterfield. We joined DCA together
It's like
back in the day.
an accountability pod, or I don't know,
Yeah,
something
it was
like
something
that.
like
Yeah.
that. And we have just like every Monday since then, since like 2019, been hanging out and talking courses and stuff since then. And Lisa's
Yeah.
finally getting to the point where she's just expanding and growing in so many leaps and bounds when it comes to AI. And I am so here to be able to support her in everything that she's doing. She's the founder of Be Unlimited. And obviously, if you've listened to the podcast episode that I was pointing you guys to, Lisa's very big on everything when it comes to digital coherence, AI, new technologies. So of course we have lots in common when we're chatting. So one of the reasons why I was like, "Hey Lisa, you need to teach my author friends how to automate, and maybe I'll learn some cool things too while I'm at it because I want to learn how to do the automations in the same way that you do. It's so cool." So welcome, Lisa, and I'm going to turn the floor over to her.
Okay. Thank you. And I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Let me see if I can share my screen. And all right, I think you should be able to see it now.
Yep, looks good.
Okay. Um, all right. Well, welcome to the AI powered social media lab. We're going to kind of walk through how you can batch and automate social media using AI, and it's really neat because it helps you be consistent, and that's always kind of been a thing because you get busy or you think, oh God, I don't even know what to say, and so then you don't, and we have to be on social media these days. So um, I'm Lisa, and I run a company called Be Unlimited. A little bit about me. I got started back in 1996 online. So I've been working online for a really long time. I started with like building websites, which led to SEO, and this was all before Google, y'all. So I mean, yeah, I'm getting up there, I guess. But I started working with AI a couple of years ago, and last year I really started experimenting with custom GPTs for various things. They're a lot of fun to build, so. Um, I've been doing one for social media for myself since then, and it's just kind of grown and grown. And as new things have come out, it's just really amazing what you can create with it. So that's me. So I want to talk a little bit about why you would use AI to automate your social media, and that's why we're here today. So I wanted to talk about why I love this is because well, let's start with what we're doing. Saving time, obviously, because you can batch things up in a few hours that would take you if you did it manually, you'd be doing a little bit of it every day and you'd always be in there, which sometimes I don't know about you. I don't have time to sit there and be on the platform all the time. Um, it helps reduce a lot of overwhelm and creative block because you're not going to worry about well, you're not going to run out of you're not going to run out of ideas anymore. It's really nice because you could sit down and you know what you've got going out, and you're not sitting there scratching your head going, "Oh my gosh, didn't I just say this?" It's not like that. Plus, it helps you scale and adapt because the consistency is like the key. You've got to be on the platform. You've got to be there engaging, you've got to be posting, you've got to do all of the things, and this makes it a lot easier for it to happen because you've already set it up in the background. um, and you can still go over there and do your engaging and everything, but it just makes it so much easier because then you don't have that hanging over in the back of your head going, oh God, I got to post something. um, so what we're going to cover today is Well, okay, by the end of the masterclass, you're going to have a clear, repeatable system so you can batch and automate and schedule your social media using AI. We're going to start with understanding Chat GPT and how to create a custom GPT, which is really kind of the key. I know some of you guys have already done that with Carissa's other courses and things. Um, and then we're going to go down into how you generate and format the post, how you get them bulk uploaded into your scheduler, and even creating images in Canva, because you can automate that as well. By the time we wrap up, you're going to know how to take all of this and take these steps and roll them out so that you can use them. All right. So ChatGPT, yeah, I think everybody's pretty familiar with this. It's probably my favorite. I've used some of the others. I've used Gemini, I've used Claude, but I always end up back with Chat because it seems to be the most consistent for me as far as being able to get the results that I'm looking for. And yeah, I just feel comfortable there. So, it's my friend. Um, so, what is a custom GPT? Basically, what a custom GPT is, and what we're talking about in this context with the social media, is it's a customized version of chat that knows everything about you, that's tailored to your brand, your business, your books, whatever you've got going on that you're going to talk about on social media. It knows all of that. So you don't have to, keep reminding it, oh, I'm doing this, and it's not going to forget. It's going to know all of that background and have all of that to pull from as you instruct it to write posts for you. It'll generate content that matches your tone and structure automatically. And we're going to walk through all of the steps on getting that set up so that it knows how to do that for you. Oh, by the way, I had so much fun making these images for this. Um, okay, so the custom GPT is going to save time because you don't have to keep rewriting things or rewriting prompts. It's going to have all of those instructions built into it. It's going to make sure that you are consistently on brand. It's going to remember everything that you've got going on. And this is something that you will update over time. So you can keep it all the way current with what's going on with you. And then you can also adapt it so that it knows, okay, I like to post on Instagram. I like to post on LinkedIn. Wherever it is that you like to be present, you can give it the information that it needs in order to produce that content so that it fits that platform. And it just makes it so much simpler because everything's there, it's already set up. So it's not like you're starting over from scratch with a fresh prompt every time. Okay, we're going to get into how you set it up. And this is kind of where the magic starts. There's a lot to all of this part of it, but every minute you spend here is going to save you so much time down the road. It's just really amazing. Okay, so with the first step, we're going to define your brand and your content style. And really, you are the magic. That's why I have this image on there because it's truly going to understand you when you're done. Um, we have to give it like a really good solid foundation because I mean, your brand, we're all a brand, basically. I mean, that's just how the world is these days. Your brand isn't just what you sell or what you do. It's how you talk, it's how you show up, it's what you sound like, it's how people recognize you online. It's your favorite colors. I mean, it's all of that kind of stuff. It's um so when you think about setting up your custom GPT, one of the big things you want to do is think about who are you and is your brand fun? Is it playful? Are you bold? Are you direct? Are you warm, conversational? You might be a mix of all of these things. And think about how you naturally communicate and what tone, feels authentic to you. And so one of the things you can do to do this is to go gather up your like key phrases or past content, things that you say a lot, things that you refer to a lot. Chances are you've got these already because it's in the content that you've already posted. It's in the things you've already written. It can be like blog posts, emails, captions. Save those because you're going to want to give them to your custom GPT so that it can refer to it. Um, you'll want to take some of your past social media posts, emails, or website copy, and you can ask chat to help you analyze your tone if you're not sure what it is, because I mean sometimes it's kind of surprising what it comes back with. It can tell you what themes show up, what your style sounds like, and even suggest maybe some refinements and things. And that will go into the instructions that we'll give the custom GPT when we get to that point. It's a really easy way to define your voice without like overthinking it, because I don't know about you, that part was really difficult for me because I'm like, well, I don't know what I sound like. I'm not sure. And it's just one of those crazy things. But putting all of those things together, that is how your brand voice comes together so that the the AI can do what it needs to do. Um, when we train it, that makes sure that it'll speak like you, it'll write like you for you, so your audience feels like they're hearing from a real person and not just a robot. The stuff will resonate and be as if you had sat there and typed every letter yourself. Um, okay, the next thing that we want to include is we've got your brand voice, but you've got to let your custom GPT know about like the details about your business. So books are a business, obviously. Writing is a business, or whatever it is that you do. I mean, obviously, I'm a writer too, so I'm kind of both of those things. I have a business and then I have books as well. But you need to be able to tell it about what you've got going on. So, like, describe it'll be your business, what you write, your industry, your audience, what do you offer, who do you serve, what problems do you solve, and all of those background things. What type of writing do you do? I mean, for me, I'm kind of like I've written a thriller, I've written some nonfiction, I want to write some science fiction. So those are the things that you want the custom GPT to know about you. And then you're going to think about the resources and things that already explain that. You've already got them. You've got a website, you may have a blog, you have other social media pages, an FAQ, maybe service descriptions, old blog posts, newsletters. All of those things can feed into that. And for writers in particular, I think world building notes and things like that come in really handy because those can really inform the posts that you're putting out to tease what you've got coming up. The more examples you can provide, the better the GPT is going to understand more about what you're doing and who you are. So, I mean, I would start with a few pieces, but plan on adding to it. Um, for me, I've got a newsletter and I, write about creating smarter with AI. So I keep my custom GPT updated every time I put out a newsletter. I add it and then I put it into the knowledge base so that it always has my up-to-date content and what I've been talking about and can refer to it. So that makes things so much better because it's not going to write a generic post. It's going to be something that actually reflects what you're doing, what you're offering, and your unique perspective. Uh, Customizing for platforms is important because obviously you don't want it to write something that's really lengthy if you plan on putting it on Blue Sky or something like that because you don't really have that much space over there. So consider where you're at, make a note of which platforms guidelines you need to follow. You can add a list of like call to actions that you would like to use or things that you've said before. This is another thing where those key phrases come in. Um, and then think about the types of posts you want to create because some posts are like storytelling or they're informative. Some are just for perspective. You kind of want to, well, I've got a bunch of ones in mind that are different types of storytelling posts and they have a different framework. So include examples of those in there, or it could be the template that you would use to fill that in and write it. I post on LinkedIn a lot, so I use posts that I've created for that platform. And then I've got a bunch of templates that I know work well over there, and I use those and refer to them when I'm, creating a spreadsheet of posts. If I'm looking over to my side, my other screen's right there. So, um, and the big key about your custom GPT, the biggest thing I want to talk about here is that this is just like a first draft. Treat it like a first draft. Nothing is set in stone with this. And it's something that you're going to update and refine as you go, and you're going to edit it. It's no different. Um, I want to give you a peek into the, let me find a peek into my custom GPT. Let me see. I don't see it over here. Let me see. Okay. How do I do that? Now that I've lost the little thing. I'm so sorry. Um,
Don't worry about it. I know you got it in there somewhere. We were testing it earlier.
I know, that's what's so weird. Where did it go? Um, okay, let me, no, I didn't want to go back. Okay, here we go. I think I got it. There, yay. Okay. Okay, so this is my custom GPT, and it's called Creating Smarter with AI because it's the one I use when I'm talking about what I'm writing about on the newsletter. And if you've been over here, the configure tab is where you're going to spend a lot of your time. And you've got your name, you've got your description, and then you've got your instructions. And this is like the prompt that you're going to build that will be totally customized to what you're doing. And I've got instructions in here. I've got the types of posts um, like 10 magical ways to expand any idea. These are like you can talk about tips or stats or steps or lessons, benefits, reasons, mistakes, examples, questions, or personal stories. And you can combine that with whatever your topic is to come up with 10 different angles that you can use. And if you reference this in when you ask for your post, you'll get a mix of posts that adhere to that. It keeps things interesting because that way every post isn't kind of the same format. It's not going to spit out that kind of thing. It helps it vary it. Um, I've got audience archetypes in mind where I talk about who they are and then some examples of what subtopics might look like. And then I give it some other types of ways to rotate through content so that it can take all of those things and put them together so that what you get back is a mix that feels alive. It's not something that's just sort of a list of, blah, blah, blah. It really makes a big difference. And then I've got information on my tone and style. I kind of went through the whole exercise that I mentioned earlier with chat, working on that and giving it examples of things that I've written, and just fed it a whole bunch of information to get it distilled down. And I didn't include any conversation starters here because I'm always kind of changing the topics that I'm writing about. So I usually sit down and kind of brainstorm with chat in this window to get the post. The knowledge base, this is where the files are going to go that you're going to gather. And all of these, I'm going to talk about these in a little bit more, but you can see I've got some newsletter writing guidelines. I've got some copywriting techniques that have some templates and things in there will guide posts. I've got information on LinkedIn content and what those guidelines look like, and all of that information. And finally, we've got the capabilities. This is what you're going to let your custom GPT do. What can it do? Can it go and search the web if you need it to? Do you want it to be able to generate images for you? Are you going to do anything with, code interpretation or, analyze data? I have that one checked because I'm having it generate spreadsheets. So I kind of want it to be able to think in that way because that's a little more technical than just having it, spit out text for you on the screen. Um, okay, I'm going to go back over here and present. Let's see if yeah, okay, good. Um, so the main thing about this is that the configure tab is your friend. That's where you're going to spend the time after you've gone through all of this, and it takes a while. The time you invest here, though, I just can't stress enough that it's going to save you hours on the other end. It really does. It's really incredible. Um, all right, I want to talk about all of your files in a little bit more in depth. The files, you have all of this. Don't let this big, huge list of that list is for ideas. Don't let that scare you because you all have this. Everybody that's written or been present online has content that they've collected. Whether they've shared it or not, they have it. You got it. It's on your hard drive, it's on your website, it's in your social media profiles. And what you're going to add is going to depend on you. That's what makes this custom. For me and one of my other custom GPTs, I have a book manuscript that I wrote. And I've got guidelines on some of the SEO work that I do, and that LinkedIn content guidance thing with templates and stuff. It's in that other custom GPT too, because it's what I use to talk about things when I'm working on SEO and things. Um, you can also have a bio, your about text, relevant background information. Like I have one that I've actually included information about, some personality things, Enneagram or, archetypes and those kinds of things. It's kind of weird, right? But it works. And it really is surprising how much that can help inform the results that you get. Plus, I've got like samples of writing, like blog posts and, other non-book kind of things. Um, and then, like I mentioned, editions of the newsletter. And these are in different ones that I use for different things. I've got a friend who created one and she trained it on Joe Dispenza's work and A Course in Miracles. Yeah, isn't that wild? I mean, she's writing about that. Anyway, yeah, so it was like, wow, that's really cool. And so it's amazing what you could do with this. It's not just social media. You could take this idea and do a bunch of other stuff with it. Okay, so files. Go through all of your things. You don't have to throw them all in there. You can turn it into a PDF. You can combine multiple documents into one PDF. That's what I do in a lot of cases, just to keep things segregated so I can figure out what's where. And then you can upload those. And once they're in there, it knows. And you can refer to those documents as well when you're asking for content. Capabilities, we've already talked about this, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going into this. The main thing, is you can try to use Canvas if you want to do some collaborative stuff. And you might do that if you're going to write like longer form. I know it's kind of wonky. Um, it's kind of wonky. I'd rather do it the other way too. So I see you over there, Carissa.
It's
Um,
terrible. It's so bad. It's so annoying. Sorry, that's just me.
God is kind of annoying, I know. Um, okay, your instructions. This is the core prompt. This is everything that is going to tell it exactly what you want and refer to all of your files, tell it how the posts need to look, what format they're going to be in. And in this example, the format that I've outlined is a spreadsheet format because I know that that is how I can schedule stuff in CoSchedule. So they have a format where you can bulk load a bunch of posts. So I have it set up so it knows exactly this is the columns, this is what goes in the columns, this is what I want in this column. You can ask for what dates you want, but it knows so that it'll give you a spreadsheet with all of your posts ready to take off and go and schedule. Um, Mine's evolved a bunch over time. I started this like sometime early last year, and I've probably gone through a new iteration every maybe month, um, maybe 6 weeks, depending where I've gone and updated it or tweaked it or refined it or added more information to it. It grows with you is the point. And as long as you go back and make those changes and make those updates, it's going to stay right where you are. So it'll know what you're working on. The prompt and the custom GPT is going to just evolve. And my main one right now is using the craft framework to structure all of the sections. So that's something you could keep in mind. There's a number of different ones out there that, in fact, I could share a link if you'd like later that has kind of a template that you could use to create your own, where basically you'd be like filling in the blank with all of your information. Um, Remind me, and I'll get that to you when we're done. Okay, so once you get to that point, you've got your prompt, you've got all of this instruction, it's got all of your background. So you're really ready to generate some posts. And and that can be really simple. It could be just as simple as going, I need 10 posts for LinkedIn about creating a custom GPT. It could be that simple. But on the screen, you can see that there's like a number of different things that these are actual ones that I've asked for. These are ones that I've used, here in the last, I don't know, few weeks. Um, like this one, I said, well, let's do a set of 15 posts about ways that AI can save time when it comes to marketing and social media, using the 10 magic ways to expand any idea. Make these for entrepreneurs and small business owners. And then I had one where I was like I was playing with an idea and playing with Descript. Descript has a GPT, which is kind of cool, that will create a video script for you from whatever content you give it. And then it'll create the video, which is pretty neat. But if you wanted to do this outside of that and you just needed a video script, you can tell it, well, you just gave me a spreadsheet. Now let's take those and turn them into a video script for each one. And it'll give you back a spreadsheet with those in it instead. So you'll get this information back in a way that you could take and repurpose. Um, it's really depends on what you're doing. That last example on the bottom there is one where I told it I wanted to write some posts based on the content that I had just covered in my newsletter. And then I gave it some guidance on that. I wanted it to be informative. I wanted it to be actionable, and it had some firsthand story because there was already story written in the newsletter, so it could take all of that information and go from there. Um, and then what you get back is a spreadsheet. So you'll get a download link and you can download it. It'll come either as an Excel file or a CSV file, which can be opened in Excel or whatever spreadsheet software you use. And I'm not sure why it varies that because you say spreadsheet and it seems to interchangeably do those. So go figure. Anyway, the spreadsheet looks like this. We have a a column for your headline. We have a column for the text. There's a link. So if you're going to refer to something or send them somewhere else, you can include the link there. We've got the date and then the time. And the time is just best in this case because CoSchedule actually has an algorithm that knows what the best times are to post on certain platforms. So when you select your platform, you can tell it best, and it'll automatically schedule that to go out at the best time for whatever that day is, which is really nice because you don't have to think about it. So it's just another way to speed things up. So the thing here I want you to remember is that you may generate and say you get like 10 posts. It might take you a few spreadsheets to get what you need for each batching session. For each batching session, I don't know. Sometimes chat's bulky. I don't know if y'all saw it was acting kind of weird this last week. I've seen it do really good with like the first 5 posts, and then the last 5 are repetitive or something like that. Or sometimes you'll look at it and you'll just be like, I don't really like that one. You just don't like it. It just takes a little bit of finesse, and chances are you'll go back and ask it to try again and remind it of what it needs to do, and you'll get a better result. It's just part of working with it, I think. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a million times faster than doing it manually. Um, so last week, I scheduled content for a few weeks out. I think I did like 5 weeks. And I ended up using the output from like 4 or 5 spreadsheets to combine it into one. And that's the one that I use to schedule. So I feel like it works better if you use a prompt when you ask it for 10 to 15 at a time rather than saying 30 or give me 100 or give me, some ridiculous number. Because if you do that, and I've tried it. If you do that, and the ones towards the end, it either won't finish or they'll be a little bit weird. So, but like I said, it's a lot faster than doing things manually. Um, I mean, seriously, I did like 5 weeks worth of posts in, I guess, about 2 hours. So 2 hours? Yeah, I would gladly do that. That frees up so much more time for, other things and making other things and just doing a lot more other creative work. Okay, so you've got your spreadsheet, and that headline column is kind of magic because we've got a custom GPT that's going to write a headline that goes with the post. The headline doesn't get used in the post. We're just going to use it to create images over in Canva. Canva has a bulk create feature, and this works really good for Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere you want to create a bunch of images to go with your post. So whatever platform you're posting on it, if it's one that's image heavy. But you can basically go in, upload your spreadsheet using the bulk create feature, and then you basically map the headline field to your design. And it can be a design that that you've already set up, maybe one that you have in your brand kit over there that's already ready to go. And it'll generate the designs for you. And um, well, here, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So you see how you have headline over here on the left, and you can see the other columns from your spreadsheet, which we're not using for here. We're just using the headline. Then over here, you can see that the headline is outlined in purple. That's the area that it's going to take the headline from your spreadsheet, and it's going to drop it into the design for you. And then once you're done, you'll end up with this. And you can see that the backgrounds look a little different on some of them. When they first come out, they're all going to look like this, the first one. So I let it generate, and then I go in and edit that generated thing over on Canva, and then I just go swap out the backgrounds and make a few tweaks to some of them to kind of that way they're not all the same, so that when they show up on social media, they'll be different, and you can vary the design of them a little bit. Unfortunately, the way Canva does is if you have more than one design in there, it's going to generate a version with every design. And that can be a little bit crazy because then you'll end up with, 100 images for, you know, 20 posts or something. So that's not necessarily, I'd rather just go in and change out, a few of the background. It doesn't take very long to do. If you're using Canva, it's pretty darn fast. So once you have that, you're going to download those and you'll have a zip file with all of those. And oh, I've got to tell you. So once you're done with your spreadsheet and you have your spreadsheet that's you're going to use to schedule everything, go in and sort it by the date so that it's in date order. If you do this, what'll happen is the images that you get from Canva will be labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll be in date order as well, so that when you get to the scheduling part, it's real easy to just match them up. You don't have to really, like, that part's not automated yet. I wish it was, but it's not. So that makes it easier. Um, Okay, so CoSchedule is what I use. It's fairly inexpensive. It's not like $1 million or anything. And what you can do is they have this bulk import, and so what you'll do is you'll have your spreadsheet on one hand, and then you'll have all of your files from Canva with the images. And then you'll go into that system and basically they have an upload where you'll upload this and you'll assign which calendar it's going to in your profile, and then you also can assign which social media profiles it's going to schedule these for. So for me, I would go in and tell it, well, this goes in the campaign that I've already got, and I want these to go to LinkedIn because that's where I've been posting a lot lately. And then you give it the spreadsheet, it loads it all in for you, and then you'll be able to see it on the calendar. I think I've got, yeah. So there's a calendar that here for right now, well, for next month, um, showing all of the posts that are in there. And once they're in there, you can go through and edit them. It's not gonna, you can go through, edit them, assign the image, which is like just a click to upload it and save it. And then you can go through all of the ones that you scheduled and add the images. If you're not doing images, you're already done. You don't have to do anything else. They're already scheduled. But what I like about CoSchedule is it pops up a little preview so you can see what the post is going to look like before it goes, which I think is important because, sometimes the formatting may be a little bit off. From what was in the spreadsheet. There may be some hidden white space or something like that. And that way you can make sure it's not worked out. And it's just another way to go through and review before it actually goes out. I mean, I do that before when I'm looking at the spreadsheet when I first build the thing because, I was like, some of those are just like, no. But yeah, it's just another way to do that. And it's kind of helpful. I mean, some people like learn better when they can see it on the screen, and this lets you actually see what it's going to look like before it actually goes. So you can know that everything's good. Um, and then you just assign and preview and save it. Like I said last week, I did over a month, and I usually post twice per day on weekdays because it's LinkedIn, which makes sense. And it seriously took me about 2 hours to go through the whole process and be completely done. So it's well worth the time in getting this set up. Um, okay, so we covered a lot, and I mean, there's a lot of detail to it. And thanks for sticking with me. Um, and if anybody has questions, I would love to hear them. Also, and if you want more in-depth details, I do have a guide for this that goes through all of the steps and exactly what you would pull together to do this. It's got all the prompts, the templates, the walkthrough, and also a content repurposing set of like prompts and stuff that you could use with this once you've built it. So I've got that on the next screen, and this is where you can find me. And so we have questions, Carissa. I think we got
Yeah,
a few minutes for that. Yeah.
let's go for it. You guys can unmute as well if you want to speak directly to Lisa, but Camilla is saying, have you done this kind of batching without CoSchedule?
It would be adaptable based on the platform. The only difference would be is you would have to get your format that that they require and be able to describe that in your prompt.
Okay.
So
My question, I guess, like my logical brain wants to go, okay, so I'm assuming then if you're going to connect sheets to your custom GPT, first you have to create the sheet. So you create those columns, correct?
I don't create the sheet. The
Really?
custom GPT does. Yeah.
What? Can you show us how to do that then? Like I'm sorry. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to see that.
Um,
I'm a visual learner.
I'm trying to think. Let me think. Where do I have that I can show you? Um, Let me stop sharing and let me come over here.
Camilla, while she's looking for that, did you have something specific in mind? Were you thinking about using the framework a different way, like just saving it for yourself and then doing them one at a time, which obviously you could do as well. It's going to generate the content for you, and you can just copy and paste from that spreadsheet.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wouldn't have to do
yeah.
it. Is that kind of what you were thinking?
Yeah, I don't have I'm just I'm just starting to use Facebook schedule. I'm proud of myself for actually using it.
Nice.
It glitches, hello.
Yep.
But yeah, it does make sense that whatever it is you do end up using, just you have to prompt it in a way to give you, what you need. So thank you for that answer. And no, I don't manually also, it would absolutely help just to have that list. And if you're really just doing it on your own, it still saves you time. So this is
Oh
great.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah, and
very much.
sometimes when, especially in
Yeah.
the author world, when we've got all these different things that we're doing and we come up with a grand new idea about, oh, I'm going to put this book on sale, you could end up wanting to pivot pretty quickly. And so you wouldn't necessarily need to create, 6 weeks of content necessarily. You could just do a week and then just schedule
Yeah.
everything out that way. And so you're still going to save your time, save some time and then allow yourself some space to pivot, right?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Woo, that's
Okay,
exciting.
here we go. I just went back to my custom GPT, and then here's the section on the output. And like I said, I told it Excel, but sometimes it gives me a CSV, which it works the same way, so I don't care. It's fine. Um, so I've basically got it where I'm telling it this is a post spreadsheet. This is the format. There's two spreadsheet types in here. So the first one is 5 columns. It's headline text, link, date, and time. And then I've described what the columns contain. Those are got, just the headline is a short hook. It's 10 to 12 words, what it's going to be used for. And then the post content, I've given it LinkedIn, Facebook, and basically the length that I expect it to be around. Um, the link will be a link that's being shared. It's optional. Just leave it blank if I don't tell you what to put there. And then the date, I tell it this will be the date that it'll be posted. And usually I'll tell it I want a start date, or sometimes I'll just go in and format the dates afterwards manually. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing, what I feel like at the moment. And then time I tell it best because I know the tool's going to do that for me. It'll schedule it at the best time. If your tool doesn't, do that, then, or if you use CoSchedule and you want to have it be really a specific time, you can do that too. And then I had another one here is carousel spreadsheet so that you could create a carousel post over on LinkedIn. And that'll create what text goes on each slide of the carousel so that you can create those documents as well.
That would work
Um,
for TikTok too, right? To be able to ask that same kind of thing to do because it's like I think they call it slideshow or
yeah,
something on TikTok, but it's the same kind of concept.
yeah, I think so because it would be the same kind of concept.
Okay.
As far as, yeah, because you would have the different slides with the different information on them. And the slides, what I'll do is take those into Canva and it'll create those for me. And then I can turn that into the files. So it takes a little bit longer to do because it's not just one image for each thing. But it's basically kind of the same type of deal there. And then I have a CTA on that one because you always want to end a slide. The carousel was something for people to do. And
So
plus they can download.
this is in the back end of your custom GPT, right? In your instructions that you were showing us.
This is in the instructions.
So how
So
does it
this
then
is,
know to connect it, or how does it know to create the spreadsheet?
I just tell it I'm looking for the post, and it knows that this is the output that I'm preferring, and this is the output that
But
I'm
does it
looking
need a
for.
like an API connection? Like what happens there? Like
Mm-mm.
it just
No,
opens
it'll
up Excel
create.
and says, "Here you go." Like what?
No, it'll give you a download link.
Really? Okay.
It'll give you a download link. Yeah.
Huh.
Let me close this, and we'll go in here, and let's write. Let's just say a post about, what do y'all want to write about today?
AI content generation for authors. I don't know.
Um, so see, it knows I'm writing for LinkedIn. And this time it's giving me the post instead of the spreadsheet. I haven't
Oh,
had
did
it do
you?
that in a while. How funny.
It's just because
Okay,
we asked.
watch. Okay, but still, you can see them and they're nice. Okay.
Oh, there it just asked you, do you want the spreadsheet format now?
Yes.
Okay.
And yes, I ask please. I do say please, not all the time, but I feel
I
like
do
it's
too.
just nice. You just be polite, right?
If AI ever gets sentient, it's going to be nice to us back. That's all I gotta say.
That's right.
If
Yeah.
Bashar
Yeah.
says, like, we got to be nice to AI, it can go two different ways. Oh, funny. How long does it typically
Right.
take to output then? I see it's analyzing. So
It's usually not this long.
is
I'm
it
not
because we're
sure
all
why
online
it's
right now?
taking. Shoot, I don't know. We're watching it. It
Yep.
knows. Okay,
Okay.
so here it
Oh,
is. You've
there it
got your
is.
download, and you
Oh,
can also
cool.
download it from here.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of downloading it,
Okay.
and that's it. I mean, then you can open it up and review. But here you've got your post,
That's
you've
so
got your
cool.
time,
Okay.
and you can take this right away and go take it into Canva, generate the images, and
Huh. I have never created a spreadsheet before, clearly. I'm usually doing just content.
I work with them a lot because one of my clients' websites we update data because it's like a directory site, and so I'm always in spreadsheets messing with stuff like that. So for me, it was like, whoa, spreadsheet! Oh, that's a great way to connect this, and it
That's
makes it
really
really
cool.
easy. It makes
That's
it
really
really
cool.
easy. Plus, you have these, and you can refer back to them. So I mean, if you really wanted to. Some of the stuff that you're going to come up with here is evergreen. So you could go back and use one of your older spreadsheets to reschedule stuff later.
Oh,
I haven't
sure.
done that yet, but I've got them all. You can bet I saved them. So
Right. Okay, so I have
yeah.
if you wanted to show your links again so that people can scan them or screenshot the screen and then
Hmm.
scan them, that would be good so that you can get
Yeah, let
there's a lot of
me.
different goodies that Lisa put together. Don't forget we need that, I think you said the craft template. Is that what you had said, Lisa?
Yeah, let me find the link for that real quick.
That would be great too. Um, one of the things that I would like to mention too, and I don't know if I don't want to distract you, Lisa, while you're looking, but chat has just recently unlocked like projects for you to be able to use too, which are very similar to custom GPTs. In my personal opinion,
Yes.
they work better specifically for writing. So I've been playing around using a project, only a project, so not a custom GPT, which understands like my brand, like the whole encompassing all the books I've written, but for a specific project. So like I'm working on Dirty Developments right now, and I'm co-writing with chat to see like, can I get a rom-com tone that really works, that is in my style, that we work together and we're doing it. And so we're working on that particular book, and it's been phenomenal because I've trained that project to, number one, know what the first two books are and know the style of writing that I typically would write in, and then now know how to go forward with the next third book. And it's been super, super awesome. And the responses are more in line with like a rom-com reader, which has been really cool. So like if I put the information in there and be like, hey, here's this updated chapter, like, what do you think? It's like, OMG, like chef's kiss because of this.
Uh,
It's so cute. It's funny. Anyway, oh, there's the prompt template.
no
Thank you. I'll
sent.
make sure that goes into the replay for people. Awesome.
Is that showing you?
That's
Yeah.
the custom GPT prompt template.
Don't see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, which one am I on? Jeez, I have too many windows. Too
You're
many
on your slides right
windows.
now, but we're on the first slide.
Okay, maybe I have the wrong one. Okay, now I am discombobulated.
Nothing like throwing stuff at you. Sorry, Lisa.
No, no, it's fine.
I have another question. I'm trying to remember. Oh no, you
Oh, there
answered
it
that
is.
question.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you.
I
Yeah,
have too many copies of this.
if you screenshot it, you should be able to go back to that and be able to scan them too if you don't want to just get your phone out right now and do it. So FYI,
Yeah,
that'll help things.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then
So
that Google Doc is a template that you can take and plug in all of your information in. The only thing you would have to really adjust for the output part is if you were using something else to schedule, then you would have to look at what their format is. But most of them have a download as an example that you could download and look at, and then just fill that all in. And
one
that
of
works pretty good.
one of the hacks that I've kind of used too in the past, I don't know if you have, Lisa, is like if I don't know specifically how to prompt for the thing that I'm looking for, I actually ask chat, how should I prompt you to get the right answer here? And then chat can give me
Yes.
some insights of like, oh,
Oh,
these are the things that you need to fill in and let me know about.
I wrote about that, um, gosh, a couple of weeks ago, I think. And there was a prompt that I came across that this guy had done. And basically, it's a prompt to create the best prompt ever for whatever it is that you wanted.
Okay.
And oh my goodness. And I used it to start changing some of my prompts up. And then, as you do, you start tweaking it and customizing it and asking it for it to be refined. And you end up like in this promptception kind of thing.
I love it.
But it really works. It
Is that
really
on your blog
works.
or in LinkedIn?
It's on Substack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's on Substack.
And your Substack is the creating smarter with AI.substack, correct?
That's it. Yep.
Okay, in case anyone wants to. Actually, I'll just copy it from
Yeah,
here.
it was a couple of weeks back that I was writing about that because it was just like it was just really fascinating to see how the output comes back out and the prompt that it gives you. And that one I think used the craft framework for it as well. And I kind of like the way that structures things out because it makes sure that you cover all of the bases.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Does anyone else have any other questions? Anything that came up for you guys? I know there's a lot that's covered here, and it's hard to showcase each step. So if there's something that you're kind of stuck on or wondering what Lisa meant, she's here for you. So
Oh,
ask your
definitely.
questions. Yeah, definitely unmute yourself and ask away. Don't be shy, guys. Everyone's like, no, my brain's imploding. There's so much that you can do with chat. I didn't even know about the spreadsheet thing. Hello.
No, I just want to say thank you because it's so much about teaching, teaching a girl how to fish because some of it is intuitive and if you just play around with it long enough, but some of it I could play around with it forever and not figure it out. And I just really appreciate the, getting the idea, just getting the idea to do a spreadsheet. One
Oh,
quickie
good.
question. Yeah, thank you. One quickie question because I really literally just yesterday saw that there is something in chat about being connected with Canva. Do you go, do you actually go into Canva through chat or what is that all about?
Oh, I think you're talking about Canvas, which is a way you can interact with chat, which is totally
No.
separate from
Yeah,
Canva.
that's not the same
Yeah,
thing at all. So what we're
yeah.
really talking about are the two different, here's Canva, everything you said, take it, and I did not know about the batch image creation either. So again, thank you.
Oh, it's so much fun and it works so well and it's fast. It's really fast. So I
Yeah.
mean it doesn't there's no way you could do that. Even with Photoshop and automation, this is faster, I swear.
And for those of you who've never done the bulk create, if you look down, you know how she's got Canva up right now, look down the side where it says bulk create. If you
That's
click
right.
that, that's how
Yeah.
you import that spreadsheet
Never
and
even
add all the
seen
data
that
for it.
button before, and I'm sure it's been right there.
Yeah, yeah. And then you just
Yeah,
choose.
so I'm not on a design I would want to do that on, but you would basically click upload data and then choose your spreadsheet. And then in your design, which this one wouldn't really work for that, you would select which text you want it to replace, and it'll take those headlines and turn it into however many images you've got in your spreadsheet. So if your spreadsheet
Oh,
has 25, it'll create you 25, one for each headline.
that's really
Lisa, if
cool. Thank you, thank
if
you,
the
thank
bulk
you.
create isn't showing on the left-hand sidebar, where do they find that? Because I know you have to sometimes find it first before it
It
pops up on that sidebar.
um I think you can just do a search for it from the main homepage because there's like all these different apps and things that they have. But I think this one is actually native to Canva. So,
Yeah.
and you may have to be a paid member to use it. I don't know if the free version has access to it. I've had a paid version for so long I've kind of forgotten what's included and what's not.
Right. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to, I'm like, okay, I should open I'll just try Instagram
Hey
posting,
Lisa,
but
do you at all write about anywhere how to organize your Canva images? Because I'm really having a problem.
No, I don't. I just
Yeah,
heavily use
okay.
search,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I name everything according to what project it's for and what its purpose is, and maybe a
Yeah.
date or something. That
Yeah, I
way I
think
can,
that's everyone's problem
uh,
with it. And I've tried to do the
yeah,
like collecting, but then you can't. Anyway, thank you. That actually
yeah. No, I
naming
have
it
the
better
same
would probably
challenge.
be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, naming makes a big difference. I mean, I
Yeah.
name things like that on my Mac as well, so that I can find
Yeah.
things quickly and easily. I guess the Finder has spoiled me, so.
Yes, me too.
thanks. Ian said that yes, you do need a pro account to bulk create. And from what I
Oh,
can
thank
tell,
you,
like
Ian.
when you create an image for like social media, it lists like the things that are embedded with Canva right away, where it's photos, audio, background, bulk create is the next thing, and then magic media, and then it goes into any of the folders that you've opened that are your own folders. So it should be right there kind of at the top, um, after you get past like
Yeah.
elements and tools and stuff
Oh,
like that.
now that I
So
know it's there, I will find it. Yeah.
it's amazing. I used to use it when I was testing out TikTok slideshows after I did TikTok for authors from Kate. And so she teaches that as well. It's very
Mhm.
interesting to be able to use. Super easy.
Cool.
Awesome. Any other questions? Anything else coming up? I know the custom GPTs, hopefully we're very familiar because we've done those in the past. But there's so much, they're constantly expanding chat. Like Sora is now available. You can play around with Sora, which is the video creation.
Oh gosh, that was fun. I've had fun
Right?
with that.
It's so
Yeah.
fun. Do you typically now, I know that you and I have talked about this in the past and you've taught Midjourney in the past, but
Mhm.
you typically now do you just use chat for your or Dolly for your image creation?
Yeah, I use Dolly and Canva has their, what do they call it? Magic.
Mhm.
What do they call it? Dream Lab. Their
Magic
Dream
Media.
Lab is actually pretty good for generating images as well. And it'll give you like four different ones. And so I'll go back and forth between them. Sometimes I'll do something in Dolly and it's like, yeah, so I'll take it into Photoshop and use their AI stuff to, generate more or to change stuff on it. But,
I
so
really
I
like
bounce
being
around
able to
between
tell it.
those.
Yeah, I like being able to tell it
It's
what my brand colors are too. Like I have the hex
mm,
colors for my different brands. And so I'll be like,
me
okay,
too.
this is like all the hex colors. So if you're creating something for this, lean on these colors first. Like do them with these
Yeah,
colors.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've done this. I've done the same thing with mine. Given it the colors so that it knows what the main things are that I use, and that way um, you can refer to it either like in your prompt when you're asking for an image. And depending on what it is, you could also give it like a style, like vaporwave or something like that. I like saturated stuff, so that gives me a lot of saturated stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I like that
yeah.
too.
I have a question a little bit off topic.
Yeah, go for it, Deborah.
If you have a photo, hi, if you have a photo that you want to use, um, can you manipulate it with AI?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
can, but it depends on what platforms you've got. Right, Lisa?
Yeah.
Well, even in Canva, like, can you manipulate a
Yeah,
photo in Canva and
what you can do, let me go back to this screen and I will show you this. Um, let me, okay, where is my toolbar? Maybe I won't do it that way. Let me share.
I'll give you a little context. So I'm writing a World War II romance about my mother's story of becoming a Rosie the Riveter
Wow.
Oh,
during World
cool.
War II. So can I take a photo of my mother and the Rosie the Riveter poster and kind of tell AI to make my mother look like one of
I
those
think what you
posters?
would do is you would take the picture of her. And then okay, say you were using Canva, you could upload that picture as a reference. And then in your prompt, you would tell it that you wanted a World War II style poster like Rosie the Riveter, and it'll use her face. Um, this picture is not exactly me, but it was taken from a picture of myself. This is my younger digital, so this is me online.
Oh, okay.
Not really. I should be at the beach. I mean, honestly, but I'm not all the time. But yeah, this is where I'd like to be. So,
And
so that's what I
you
did.
did that in Canva?
I did that in Canva. Yeah.
Can you show us how
Hmm.
you did it?
Yeah. Let's see if you can see. Here's some of the images that I was playing with, and let me find. it. I actually had it tell me that it couldn't give me images this time. So here I played with a bunch of different ones, but this one turned out the best. Some of them didn't look like me at all, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Um, but I gave it my current avatar image that I use on social media, and uploaded that as the reference. And then you would just click add image and give it a style reference. So that's where you would upload that and then describe the image. And um, depending on what you want, you could come in here and choose one that was more like illustration. So it would give you something in the style of a poster. But you can also specify that in your description of what you write in your prompt. And it'll give you four, and you can decide whether you like it. If you wanted a different size, you can change the size depending on where you're going to be using it. Um, yeah, so I mean, like Instagram, you would want something square, or Facebook or something like that. If you're going to use something that you wanted to put on, TikTok or Reels or something, you would use like the 9 by 16, or whatever. So you would just pick one, and then it'll generate several different options for you.
That's really cool. I've never played with
So
Dreamlab
so
before.
I'm starting with my mother's picture and then referencing a Rosie the Riveter poster and telling it to make her look like that.
Yeah, so
Yep.
you would upload the style reference, so that would be the picture of your mom. And
Yeah.
then in the description, you would tell it that you wanted to get a poster, and it'll use her face as the style reference.
I would change the size probably to the 3 by 4, or something along those lines.
Yeah, if you wanted like a poster, because otherwise it might give you the poster on another background or something like that with other stuff around it. So, yeah.
Right. That's really cool.
Yeah, and with the paid version, they give you, I think it's like 500 credits a month.
Mhm.
So you could generate quite a few images from that. And from here, you can just take the images that you like and take them right into a design, or copy them and paste them into another design. Like if you have another tab open and something, because I'll usually have several Canva tabs open doing different things.
That's really cool. And I personally use Photoshop for a lot of the refinement. I have always used, I've been a graphic designer in the past, and I use a lot of the like audition tools and stuff like that. So just having Creative Cloud has made sense in my business. And so for me, if there's a digital aspect where it's just like there's just a little part, or it adds like words to it and I don't like it, I'll drop it into Photoshop, highlight just that section and say, hey, Photoshop, take this out of here and just blend the background. And
Yeah.
Photoshop's capacity to do that, like refinement stuff, is way better. But it's not necessary either. Like you can just um, find other creative ways around it. You could put something on top of it or whatever, but keep tweaking it until you get
Oh
the right
gosh,
prompt
it's so
out.
much better at that though, because you can just go, oh, well, expand this for me.
Right? Yes. I love it. It's so good. Remove this background person. I don't want them there.
One
Think
of
of
my
all the
son's
things you could do with your
friends.
exes now with those digital photos. Geez, guys.
Oh, that's scary. People are doing that. That's oh.
They have been erased from existence. Oh gosh, instead of just burning the photos. Rats. What's the fun in that? Oh goodness. Well, that's awesome. Any other questions? Anything else that kind of has come up for you guys? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. We'll get the replay for this out hopefully by around 5 at the latest, would be my guess today. So if you're looking for any of the details, I'll make sure that they're included in the email that goes out and the link that goes out. So be keeping an eye out for that. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you,
Well,
everybody.
yeah.
I
Thank you
really
very
enjoyed
much. This
coming
is
and doing this
awesome.
today.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.